Welcome to the Angler Talk Podcast with Chris and Aaron. Brought to you by FishingMagicianTV.com.
What is up, everybody? It's Chris and Aaron back again with another weekly episode of Angler Talk. How we going, bro?
Good, man. Good. Looking forward to this guest. I know I say that a lot, dude, but we got a local guy from some, I don't want to say South Jersey, but New Jersey. Shop owner, dude. I mean, it's great to have local guys, Chris, that are in the business that can give up-to-date reports. I mean, it's almost like having a live guy ready to go to give you information about the area, dude. So, I'm loving it, man. Fishing my ass off, dude. Hitting as much as I can with the inlet. Inlet bite has been great if you can get through the seaweed. I mean, we've had a crazy rush of seaweed on the inlet, dude. So if you're not fishing the right tide at the right time, you're catching seaweed monsters for sure, dude.
Nah, man, that sucks. And speaking about fishing, I'm actually excited because in about 6 hours from now, this recording, I will be fishing the High Marsh Schaefer Cup. I can't wait to see what's going to happen and really just hoping that I win, but we'll see what happens. But as you mentioned, this week we do have a good guest. His name is Scott. He works over at Grumpy's Bait and Tackle in Seaside from Central New Jersey. I think that's what you were looking for. And I hope you guys enjoy. And here we are with Scott Thomas from Grumpy's Bait and Tackle in Seaside Heights. How we doing today, bud?
Living the dream. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. Actually, right now I'm sitting directly in front of the air conditioning. It's a good change of pace from today.
Nice. Yeah. Brutal.
Now, we're excited to have you on, Scott. I've been following you for quite some time, buddy. And I mean, you've always been one of them pages that I looked to before I tried to plan my trip north from where I was at in South Jersey. And your shop always gave up-to-date information, man. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good to see. Like, I know you post videos every day about what's going on, what's hitting, what they're biting on, and that's good that tackle shops do that. Especially today's world with all the social media. The magazines are not really the big thing anymore. So when tackle shops are taking the time to do something like that, I mean, it helps a lot of anglers out for sure. So down in Seaside Heights, what's biting right now?
We got a lot of fluke off the beach right now. Triggerfish on the jetty. We fished the jetty on a beach, which is actually closed right now because of the erosion. But there's some at Manasquan Inlet as well. There's still some bass around for the guys who know what they're doing at night. Back bay bass. Blue's starting to show up, and I actually saw some spinner sharks out front today. So I'm really hoping they push in again because that was a lot of fun last year.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was been something that I've been trying to get into for quite some time was the flounder off the beach, man. I used to catch them. I don't want to say as bycatch, but I would catch them fishing for other species. And then, once I found out that these fish are, kind of staging in these little cuts and these little shoals off the beach, that's really, it piqued my interest and almost like curiosity on the possibility of something big being caught off the surf,
Yeah. Last year we had the best fluke fight in anyone's living memory. We've got good customers of ours who have been fishing, 60, 70 years, and it was ridiculous. We were sending people out. Almost everyone we sent out was coming back with a limit every day.
Wow.
I was going on the beach, and I'd be boxed up in 4 casts and culling live fish out of my cooler for bigger fish.
Wow,
we have the different regulations at Island Beach. Which is awesome this year. It's 2 over 16 inches as opposed to the regular slot, which is 2 at 17 to 17.99 and 1 over 18. We had a guy yesterday with 2 fish. I think they were both over 20 inches. And it's cool because you keep 2 bigger fish, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely,
compared
man.
to it was, a few years back, Chris. It was, I mean, I haven't been able to experience it now in quite some time, but I'm in Florida, but compared to what it was before I left, it was ridiculous. I mean, I remember fishing early in the season to try to pregame it, and that's when you were catching the quality fish. You weren't supposed to, be targeting them, but even fishing for bass, you were catching quality fish early in the season, and then once the season opened, you could not pay a keeper to catch, to be caught. So it's good they changed that regulation. It's definitely on the plus side.
Well,
Yeah,
that's cool, man. I mean, especially with a fish like summer flounder, which is it's a tasty one. It's good table fare. But
Yep.
one of the species that you did bring up that it seems like I don't want to say it's on the decline because some regulation maker will freaking take that out of proportion. But I mean, what is going on with the bluefish?
So the bluefish they're in and out. Some years we have great runs. Some years we have not good runs. We didn't get I think it was 3 years ago was our last good gator run in the spring. We were fishing in our bay spots, and I mean there was days where between me and the three guys who I was fishing with at the time, who I fished with that entire year, we were coming home with over 50 fish apiece, all on top water.
Yeah.
Last year we had a great cocktail bite during the mullet run. 2 years ago we didn't have any mullet. There was very very little mullet. So the bluefish didn't stick around. They shot at the inlet and left. Last year we had a great mullet run. So every day we would go and we would just hammer. There's literally as many bluefish as you wanted to catch on poppers. We would just
So Scott, it sounds like it's bait driven then. I mean, when the bait species comes up and holds in the inlets or holds in the bays area where you're at, it seems like that's when the bluefish seem to congregate in the area then, right?
For the most part. I mean, there's times when there's not a lot of bait around and we have them. But generally, if we have good bait, generally mullet in the fall, like September, we'll get the cocktails and we'll get a lot of them. The spring ones, there's generally bunker in the bay in the spring, and you can find them if they're in. But it's very hit or miss on if they come or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're staying offshore or what they're doing, but they're coming or they don't. We had a few. We had them for a couple days this year, like 2 or 3 days. There was some good bluefish bites, but that was it. They were in and out real quick.
Yeah, and Chris, to be honest, I read the reviews and I read the comments, and I don't think it's, personally, just like Scott's saying, I think it changes every year with the bait migration or with whatever, something that we don't understand. I don't think it's got to so much do with overfishing or overharvesting, because I remember, just like Scott said, there's been years in the past where the bay is a freaking cloud of bluefish, where you're hitting with the prop, they're so thick, dude. And then the next year comes back and you're catching cocktails off the side banks and nothing else. I mean, and then another year goes by, you're lucky to get anything at all. I mean, so I think it's almost like a striped bass migration kind of deal. I think it's going to take some serious science to be able to figure out why they're moving in and out when they do.
Like striped bass, there's a lot of tagging programs. There's a lot of research that goes into it. The Fishing Club I'm in, we have a awesome tagging program that we share with Monmouth University, and we do a lot of work with Grayfish, who is doing the satellite tags, which is how they found the striped bass out in the canyons. But there's not really anything like that for bluefish, which is unfortunate because I'd really love to see what the deal is with them.
Yeah. Same here, man.
Absolutely, man. And I know a lot of people are wondering, who's watching this saying, well, what the hell are you talking about bluefish for? Hey, look, bluefish is not the best table fare. We know. But when it comes to our inshore waters here in Jersey, there's nothing funner to catch. Now, just mind you, this is my opinion. On light tackle, a bluefish fight is way better than a striper fight any day of the week. That's just my opinion. Now, as far as keeping it to throw it in the cooler, not so much.
Yeah, pound for pound, I'll take bluefish over anything. I'll take a 20-pound bluefish over a 40-pound bass any day of the week.
Oh, absolutely, no question.
They're just monsters.
Yeah, I mean, and then they're fun, man. They're very sporadic. You never know which way they're going, and on light tackle, there's nothing better, man. But
yeah,
we talked about some fishing. Now, what I want to ask you is Grumpy's Bait and Tackle, man. I mean, this place has been around for quite some time, and it's an awesome looking shop. You got the online thing going on. And when did you open up?
2006 is when they first opened. It was Tom, who's Grumpy. He just started a rod building, started a small tackle shop out of his garage, and it grew and grew and grew. Right after Hurricane Sandy is when Ray, who's one of the part owners now, became a part owner. He really bought in, and Ray brought it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I started there just when COVID started. I was a chef before COVID. I got laid off. And Ray said, "You want to pick up hours?" And I was like, "Yeah, look, why not?" And I make less money, but I love going to work every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's an amazing feeling when you can actually wake up and say, hey, guess what? I get to go to work today. I mean, at
Yeah.
that point, it's not even a job anymore. It's just something you love
Yeah.
to do. And, to give up something like being a chef, which is a well-paying job and everything, just to do this, you can tell the passion that's behind that, you know what I'm saying? And that's awesome to hear that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love it. It's my girlfriend always yells at me because I'm always at the shop, even when I'm not, at work. I'm just hanging out there because I enjoy the people that I work with. We have a great time. We're always ripping on each other, and it's just fun to talk about fishing.
So Scott, tell me where the name Grumpy's came from, man. I know a lot of the viewers and watchers or listeners are wondering where that name came from.
Tom is a grumpy man.
Is he? Yeah.
But he's got his shtick, but he's honestly one of the most generous, genuinely kind person. He's got this whole persona, and he'll give you the finger and to get out. But it's we do sit on Santa's lap every year. He dresses up like Santa. We raise money for St. Jude's Hospital. Tons of donations. We participate in a lot of like charity tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
And we donate like custom rods and stuff. So it's to a lot of places.
No, I see you guys. You guys do a lot for the community in the area, man. I mean, Grumpy's is just a name, for sure. But I tell you what, that the name kind of spins me back to all the all the run-ins I had with the old-time bait shop owners when I was a kid in New Jersey, dude. Like, if you tried to ask a bait owner that you wanted the bigger friggin' bunker or you wanted the smaller clams and not the bigger clams, you got that grumpy owner, dude. You know what I mean? So that name hit so perfect for me, dude.
Yeah, it's funny. It's people always ask, like, "Are you grumpy?" And I say, "I can be if you want me to be."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's pretty much just a Jersey thing, We're all grumpy in our own way. But I was on the website earlier, and I did see some brands that you got on there, man. And you got a lot of stuff on your website, and I'm pretty sure is in the shop as well. A lot of stuff that a lot of people have heard of, but also a lot of custom stuff, which is cool. So how did you get connected with maybe these smaller builders and stuff like that?
So our Ray, Bob, who's our rod builder, they fish a lot of tournaments. So they're always, out and, they meet a lot of people. And everyone in the shop fishes. So we're always meeting people on the beach or on the boat. Some people are a customer. Like one of our hottest things that we carry is Scabelli's lures. Scabelli's this guy, John, out of Tom's River. And, his lures come in and they're gone in 10 minutes. We do 1 or 2 events with him a year. And there's literally people camped out from midnight the night before. And by the time we open up, there's 100 people in line.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to drive my ass down to Grumpy's Bait and Tackle and pick up some of these lures. I mean, people camping.
He makes awesome stuff.
I mean, if there's people camping out for it, I mean, it's got to be fire.
Oh, yeah. His gliders is what he's known for. And they just crush fish. They're awesome. He's just a great builder. He puts a ton of time into his stuff, test swims everything, and he's really passionate about it, almost like fanatical about it.
Right. That's really good. As every good bait distributor is, they take that extra time to do R&D, and they do all that good stuff. I mean, some builders they don't even build their own stuff. It's coming from freaking Alibaba, you know what I'm saying? But to hear that there are still people in the industry that do stuff like that, I mean, it's definitely good to hear, that somebody's actually taking the time and putting in the work still these days.
Yeah. I mean, we carry a few custom plug builders, him, After Hours, Striper Bites. Those are like the main ones that we carry. But then we have, like Super Strike Gibbs, all like the popular names that people want or people are looking for, and everything in between.
Well, Scott, I tell you though, man, to just be a local shop that's giving the small guys the opportunity to put their product on the shelves, that says, speaks volumes, dude. Because there's so many shops that won't even look twice at the smaller guys, and they think that all the public wants is the well recognized big labels, when that's not the case at all. I mean, you got a line around the corner, dude, that show up for this guy's small thing that he builds out of Tom's River, dude. So I mean, that's really commendable, man, that the shop does that.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's those days they're crazy, but they're a lot of fun. We see all our friends who come. We meet a lot of new people, which is awesome too.
No, for sure.
We get customers, for life that way.
So
you
cool. Spoke. Sorry, Chris. You spoke a little bit about the sand fleas that you were just recently trying to catch out there, man. So can you share the new method with the listeners, or is it a secret kind of patented thing?
That was fiddler crabs, not this. That was fiddler crabs, not the sand fleas.
Oh, okay.
So I got an Asian crab trap, but the mesh is small enough to where the big ones aren't going to get out, which is the ones that we want to keep. Because we go into South Jersey for sheep's head a lot. And the spot we just tried, it was, we could have dug them if we wanted to, or, ran around and tried to catch them, but it just wasn't right for that trap. And, it was a good attempt, but, we learned something, and it's, on to the next time.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you literally the same question that Aaron just did, but it's well, before we started recording, I can see you came into the truck, you were a ball of sweat. I mean, that just shows you the work that this man is putting in. I mean, it's freaking 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Most people are out getting ready to go to Applebee's, the club, the bar, whatever. This man's working. You know what I'm saying? You don't see anybody at Bass Pro Shops doing that.
Yeah,
You're not going to get that at Cabela's. I mean, don't get me wrong. These places, Bass Pro, Cabela's, and all these are great places. But that small business is going to go the extra mile to help you out. And they're always going to have something that the big guys are never going to have, which is the local knowledge. They're going to know what's biting, and they're going to put you on the right spot. And this is why I always tell people, support your local business, because guys like Scott here, one day the big giant companies are going to try and buy him out.
Yep.
But just from conversating with this man right now, I know that he's not going to sell out, because he's willing to go the extra mile. He's willing to put in the work, and that's a good thing, man. And I think that, guys like you and other people in this industry, the small businesses, they need our help. They need us to stay loyal, because you guys always been loyal to us, and we should do the same thing, as fishermen.
We see a lot of people, I'm very active on social media because I like to follow the trends, I like to see, what's going to be hot, what people are looking for. And I see a lot of people who are, like, hey, should I get this off Amazon, or should I get this off Amazon? And my thing is always go to your local back shop. Rods especially. Like, I can say, I love this rod, and it's a perfect rod for me, but you may hate it.
Exactly.
It's not the action you're looking for. You don't like the feel of it, and you can't see that online. You can see it in Bass Pro, but you can't. Still know a little bit about it, but I can tell you like why it's built the way it is.
Right. Exactly. Like you ask somebody.
It's built for.
Yeah, you ask somebody at Bass Pro, like, hey, what kind of guys does this have? Does this have galvanized? Is it this? Is the rod made out of graphite? Is it carbon? They have not the slightest freaking idea. They saw a 90-second video on how to be an employee. Smile and ask for your manager. That's it. That's all they know. Oh, man. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, no, Scott, I mean, it sounds like Grumpy's is a shop that I wish I had down the street from me here in Florida, dude, to be honest with you. I love, like, being a South Jersey guy through and through. Absecon Bay was my shop. That was my go-to small mom and pop. It was either Absecon Bay or Riptides over in Brigantine. And the two reasons why they caught the bait locally. They caught what the fish were biting and chewing on seasonally, and they had it fresh, ready to go. Not only that, they left the opportunity for you to pay either over the phone, and they leave the bait out for you. I mean, that's you can't find that at Walmart. You can't find that at Bass Pro. You know what I mean? When you have a shop,
Riptide's famous for that.
right? Yeah, no, I mean it's something else, dude. To be able to call him ahead of time and say, "Hey, getting off work a little early, do me a favor, throw 3 dozen in a cooler," and then he trusts that you put that money in a box, like that brings you back to the '60s, man. What our grandfathers and dads used to tell us stories about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, Aaron grew up in South Jersey. I'm more of a North Jersey guy, and you're like dead smack in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, it's my local bait shop is. I'm pretty sure you heard of Tackle Box on 36. I'm pretty sure that me and my friends are the reason why Phil went out and spent a lot of money on a bait vending machine. I'm pretty sure he was getting tired of getting, hey man, save me 6 bunker and throw it underneath something in the parking lot. So he went out and invested in a bait vending machine where you could buy bait 24/7.
Yeah. We're actually very friendly with them. We use the same bunker guy, and all last fall we had to go up to the Raritan because we had such a hot bunker bite. And every time we'd be dropping off bunker to them on the way back to the shop.
Yeah.
So we're very friendly with them.
No, that's awesome, dude. I mean, and again, it speaks volumes that you're connected with the local shops, not only with your bunker guy, but with the shop owners, dude. I mean, there's been a lot of animosity over the years amongst small shop owners where somebody will shadow ban one guy and say that his bunker's friggin' yellow-eyed and yours is better or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's great that you guys have the camaraderie between shops the way you do. Scott, what do you got in the future for Grumpy's, man? I mean, is there something that you can kind of give us an inside view or input on that Grumpy's has coming up?
Yeah, so we're working on building our online store better. We just started it last year, I believe, maybe the year before. John, who's our online sales manager, he's running it solo, and it's from putting stuff on the website, doing our fishing reports online, to packing up orders and restocking the shop. It's a lot for one guy.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. Just doing more custom rod stuff. Custom rods are huge for us. We're at probably an 8-month wait right now to get a custom.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean they're not cheap. You're looking at a minimum of $350.
Right.
And back when I started fishing, or when I started seriously fishing, I should say, I was like, I'll catch just as many fish on my ugly stick as anyone on a $700 rod.
Right.
And I caught fish on an ugly stick, but the difference is it's insane. When I got my first custom, I couldn't believe how light it was, how much further it could cast, how much better it handled fish. It was just, and the amount of fish. I would fish longer. I would fish harder. I could work baits better. It was so much more sensitive. I could tell if I have one piece of eelgrass on it. I could tell if it's a small fluke, if it's a sea robin. I could tell what's hitting it, and it's just insane the technology that's gone into rods.
Scott, I don't know about this salesman over there you got, dude, but I'm telling you what, you're a hell of a salesman yourself, dude. Because I'm ready to order one of these friggin' waiting list, custom rods, Chris. Like he's got me one piece of eelgrass. I'm sold, dude.
But yeah, man, I totally know what you mean.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
I think 99.7% of fishermen on this planet all grew up fishing an ugly stick, and I was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad, till today, will live and die by ugly stick. And he didn't understand. He didn't understand the first time I brought home a $339 rod. He's just like, "What the hell do you need that for? My ugly stick cost me $60," and it's like that. I'm like, okay, with that ugly stick, when you're fighting a fish, number one, you're just dragging it. You're not enjoying the fight whatsoever. You don't know what it is until it breaches the surface. The moment that I feel my 0.4 ounce rod, that's what it weighs, I know what's on my line while I'm 70 foot, 80 foot down. And they don't when he first used a light stick, and he's just like, "Oh man, this feels amazing." But at first, he didn't realize what it was, and then it started screaming, and it was a 44-pound striper on a rod that weighs 4 ounces, less than 4 ounces, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I never knew fighting a striped bass could be this fun." I said, "Yeah, well, it's a lot different when you're not using the meat stick, you know." So it was good to convert the old man for that moment, you know.
I will never shame anyone for not having good gear because you get what you can afford.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, if all you can afford is $100 combo, awesome. You know, we'll set you up the best we can for $100 combo.
Yeah.
If you want to spend $2,000, awesome. We'll set you up for $2,000. And it's, you know, we've had a few customs that have gone over $1,000 a piece.
Holy crap.
We're setting up $1,000 rod club where you get like your picture and your name on the wall.
Yeah, I'd hope so. You know?
I haven't gone that far yet.
I'm just shy on my most expensive rod. I learned to build a few years ago, about a year ago, but before that, I think my most expensive was $987, and I was never, I didn't want, like, when I had it built, I was like, well, you know, all the flashy stuff the deck wraps doesn't do anything. But Bob was like, just get it, and I was like, all right, fine, whatever, it's only money. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's a tool. And you know, no matter what you do, you want the best tools that you can afford for the job you're doing.
That's right.
You know, and if you're a carpenter, you want good tools. You don't want to go to Harbor Freight and get electrocuted.
Right.
And you know, it's a hobby, but you still want good tools to use. You want to have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Me and Chris were just talking about it. Like, to be able to have a job that you love to go to every day, dude, and then to be able to put out a quality product that someone's willing to pay that much for, dude. I mean, you're living the dream of a lot of fishermen, you know, Scott. You really are, dude. It's a blessing. So in New Jersey right now, I mean, we talked a little bit about the flounder bite, dude. We talked a little bit about the bluefish, the stripers slowing down, you know, from time to time, or in the back bay bite going on. Any bottom fishing really going on other than flounder, dude? I mean, are you guys, you know, catching kingfish off the surf, or you seeing croakers in the wash? I mean, anything like that going on?
Kingfish just started showing up. So kingfish are kind of weird because they a lot of times they'll stop at the Barnegat Inlet, and they won't come up until, you know, they'll have them south of the Barnegat Inlet 2 months before we get them up here. They're just starting to show up.
Wow.
Sheep's head is the new hot thing in Jersey.
Yeah.
It was a you know, open secret for a while, and I started targeting them 2 years ago. And that is the most frustrating fish I've ever targeted, hands down. I hate them.
Me too.
And it's, you know, they're such a pain, but they're so fun. Sea bass is open at 2 fish right now. Slow pitch jigging just started picking up here in Jersey. And a lot of guys are doing that for sea bass now, which is hands down my favorite way to catch sea bass. I love slow pitch jigging.
I haven't done it much, man. I've seen it done for tuna, and I got a couple buddies here that go offshore and they do it for, you know, for tuna and different things like that. But even snapper, when snapper season opened up, they were doing it for snapper. But I've never tried it. It looks super fun, dude, because I'm a really light geared kind of guy when it comes to rod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I gotta ask you a question. Slow pitch jigging is cool. Have you vibed for them yet?
I haven't. We actually are getting the vibes in the shop soon.
Dude, I have got to tell you. I gotta tell you, that is my new favorite lure. I mean, for every single species. I mean, there is not one thing that I can't think about not catching on the Vertex. I mean, those guys over at Nomad, the R&D that they put on that lure is just off the charts. I mean, from everything from Jersey to Florida, snook, tarpon, stripers, bluefish, sea bass, fluke. I mean, it is off the charts, man. I can't wait for you to fish that, and then you're gonna give me a call and just be like, God damn it, magician was right.
Yeah, my buddy, he got a few of them, and he loves them. He took them down to he was down in Florida. He was using them for trout down there, and he was crushing them on them. And then he started using them up here for bass, and we're just waiting to get them in. But they look like a lot of fun.
Oh, they definitely do, man. The moment they hit that water, they're already fishing. I mean, all the way down, it's fishing. Then when you're jigging it up and retrieving it, it's fishing. It's off the charts. I know I sent one to Aaron. I still haven't got any word if he caught anything yet, but I don't think he's taking it out the packaging yet, to be honest.
No. So it's one of them lures, man, that reminds me of like getting super pissed off that I hooked the bottom with this beautiful friggin' lure, you know? So like in New Jersey, you're able to go. I mean, in Florida, you're able to go offshore, but I'm stuck with a 16-foot flats boat that I'm running like the intercoastal and like the backwaters with. So throwing this full size body, I'm so afraid of getting it hooked in the mangroves or on an oyster bed or something like that, and then just not being able to experience that friggin' slow pitch jig bite. You know what I mean? So it's put away. That thing's ready for the bite. Just not down here, not just yet. That's all.
I hear you, man. And Scott, I can't wait till you try that out, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it, man. But I'm looking at the clock right now, and I'm seeing that we're running out of time. We got about a minute left. So, where can everybody find your website, and what's the shop location? Let everybody know, and I will leave a link in the description down below.
GrumpyTackle.com, at Grumpy's Tackle on Facebook, Instagram. We just 906 Northeast Central Ave, Seaside Park, on the way to Island Beach State Park.
That's awesome.
4:30 to 8 every day.
That's awesome, dude. And we want to thank you for taking the time and coming on with us, and good convo. And I wish Grumpy the best, and I wish you the best. And I can't wait to hear the story about you vibing.
Thanks, Scott.
Brother, have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
It was good to hear from Scott, man. He puts in a lot of work, a lot of hours over there at Grumpy's. And, before we started recording, I saw that big ball of sweat on that man. He was out there working, catching those fiddler crabs.
Yeah, dude. And that says, volumes for the dedication this man gives to that shop, dude, because it's like, like we spoke about during the interview, the biggest thing for me for a local shop is to have local bait that the fish are chewing on, dude. So, anybody can go and grab a pack of frozen mullet or a pack of frozen bunker or, a Spanish mac or whatever, mackerel. You can go grab it frozen anywhere. But to have live fiddlers, to have live samplies, to have, the bait that the fish are biting on that weekend when you're about to go fishing, and have the bait shop go out and catch it the night before fresh. I mean, come on, dude. What more could you want for a local bait shop?
Absolutely, man. And like I said earlier, we were talking to Scott. Don't get me wrong. Cabela's, Bass Pro, these are beautiful stores. They know how to market the hell out of it. But, what I said is how I truly feel. These small shops are the cornerstone of this industry. They put in the work. They put in the long hours. I mean, Cabela's, what time is Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops open? 8, 9 o'clock. They're working banker hours. For the guys who want to go out there first light, which we know that's when that bite is going to be on. I mean, these guys are waking up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning just to open the doors at 4:30 in the morning. And, without our support, eventually one day this is not going to be there anymore. And, it's those guys who put in the work to tell us where to go, this, and that. And, you're going into the shop, and instead of buying from them, you're going to go buy on Amazon just to save, 30, 40, 50 cents, maybe a buck.
Yeah.
But the knowledge that you're getting from these guys and all the information, what I'm saying, they're not seeing $1 on that.
No. Chris, listen, there's no better feeling, dude. And I know you've done this, but there's no better feeling than to go take that gift card that you got, or that Visa gift card you got for Christmas, or go take that, couple $100 that you got for Christmas, and go down to your local shop and put your hands on something, instead of ordering it and wondering what it looks like, wondering what it feels like. Like Scott was saying, he can give you the dimensions, what it's built out of, what it's used for, and prime pick you a piece that you're going to be happy with leaving. Not only that, you're going to get the camaraderie from these local shops, dude, that you can't get from Bass Pro. You can't get from Columbia or, from Cabela's. You're going to get that from Grumpy's Bait and Tackle and small mom and pops like that, dude. I mean, you'll be surprised the great feeling you get when you go in and buy something from a local shop like that.
Absolutely, guys. So with that being said, before we wrap it up, we got to leave you with a gift. So I'm going to let Aaron take it away.
That's it. And you want to talk about a gift from a local shop, dude. I mean, goodness. Extreme bait tanks. You want to talk about Angler Talk 10 will save you a percentage off of your new bait tank. You guys have not checked out these bait tanks yet. I mean, you don't know what you're missing. I just posted a reel on Facebook. You could, head out over there and check that out before you even decide to buy. But, dude, when I'm telling you an overbuilt, amazing Ferrari, Rolls Royce of bait tanks, this thing is overbuilt, dude. The R&D's been done. Keeps fish alive. It could be used as a friggin' aquarium, Chris. I mean, come on. Angler Talk 10 will save you in that new purchase.
Absolutely, guys. So head on over to extremebaittanks.com and use that promo code AnglerTalk10 and you will save some money on your order. So for this week, we're going to wrap it up. He's Aaron, I'm Chris, and we're out. Tight lines.
See you guys.